Word. All right, here we record. And I realized how many times I was rushing through my day. And so on one end, I'm sitting and I'm doing quantum touch and I'm bringing in abundance. And then I'm becoming aware of where I'm rushing from day to day. And I'm like, why am I suddenly becoming aware of this? And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm rushing. So there's a part of me that doesn't think I have enough time to do this. And I was like, oh, that's bringing in scarcity. And then I was like, well, where else am I holding on to scarcity? And then these little ideas pop up of just ways I don't allow myself to receive, ways I think I can't have more. And I thought that was really interesting. And then I bring it back to quantum touch, because what we do with quantum touch is we get clear on what is the pain, what is the challenge, what is the problem, and where are we feeling this in our body. So just because I see scarcity doesn't mean I'm going to continue to create it. We celebrate the pain. So we celebrate that I now became aware of where I am actually experiencing scarcity in my life. And then I can run the energy. And if I choose to focus on scarcity, I can choose to focus on abundance. So when we take quantum touch one step further, we get clear on our intention. So what do we want? And where attention goes, energy flows. So I can choose to keep my awareness on scarcity and this feeling that I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough resources, or there's not enough to go around, or I can shift it to abundance. And this principle went one step further when I was cleaning out my garden with my kids, and my 3-year-old started grabbing all of these mini pepper plants, and they were like this big, and she would rip them open because she thought it was really cool how they could just rip open, and she would see all these seeds in them. So she didn't know it was a green pepper. She was just calling it seed packages. And she would crack them, and she'd be like, look, Mom, there's seeds in here. And she would crack all of them just because she wanted to see which one had the most seeds. And I thought that was so funny that that's what she was focusing on. And then, of course, now you can imagine we had this like pile of broken peppers and just seeds everywhere. And I was like, wow, how abundant. One little green pepper can produce like 50 to 70 whatever seeds, and they could all produce another plant. And then I was like, how many plants or how many peppers would a plant produce? And then multiply it by the number of seeds in each plant. And I also homeschool my kids. So I brought my 8-year-old over and I was like, hey, I got a good math problem here for you. I was like, count how many seeds are in this pepper. And he's like, no, Mom, there's a lot. I was like, exactly. And then I was like, how many peppers grew on that plant? He's like, I don't know, a lot. I was like, exactly. We are surrounded by abundance, but are we choosing to focus on it? And that was a big insight for me. And then I just look around in nature, and then I say to my son, I was like, all right, can you count the number of leaves on the ground? Once again, he's like, there's so many. And it was just beautiful. So it went this kind of full circle. And I was like, yeah, our birthright is abundance. Our connection to nature, we have this connection. And if we choose to see abundance, we're going to see abundance. And if we choose to see scarcity, we're going to see scarcity. And the moment we become aware, we can shift our focus. So scarcity is on, say, the same plane as abundance. So we could either be over here with scarcity, or we could be over here with abundance. But the moment we become aware of scarcity, we can congratulate it. We can be grateful because we just became aware. And then we can shift our focus to abundance. And how fun would that be? And this is why I love quantum touch, because the one line that always stuck with me when I had started learning was when Richard Gordon said, celebrate the pain. Said no one ever. But it makes so much sense because you're becoming aware of what the issue is. Awesome. So where is it? Where attention goes, energy flows. So I can choose to keep my attention on the pain, or I can shift it. So we celebrate that we became aware in our life, and then we shift it to what we do want, which is getting clear on our intention. So for the purpose of today, I want you to really consider scarcity or abundance. And this isn't a good, bad, right, wrong. It's just observing. We're just being objective. We're just going to observe. And I invite you throughout your day, whenever something comes up, just ask yourself, am I feeling scarcity or abundance? Am I believing scarcity or abundance? What is this action demonstrating? And then you can ask yourself, well, what do I want? Do I want to stay in scarcity or do I want to go into abundance? So when I was saying earlier about going up the stairs and I would always like run up the stairs, I'm like, I can just walk up the stairs. I have the time to walk up the stairs. And it's just so funny how when you start noticing those little shifts in your life and then creating those little shifts in your life, you're now commanding that abundance. Because as I walk up the stairs, I'm like, I have the time to walk up the stairs. It might sound silly and it might sound small, but now that you're aware of scarcity versus abundance, you'd be surprised of just the little things. Like getting the last little peanut butter out of the peanut butter jar. Or not that you have to be wasteful, but it's knowing that there's always going to be enough to go around. All right. And then the next part is getting clear on our intention. So I invite you, if you have a piece of paper or a notepad or something, just to write it down. And writing it down is a huge skill in itself because it forces us to get clear and it forces us to get focused. And once again, where you place your energy, attention is where you place your energy. So if you were going to physically write something out, that has bearings, that has weight. And another common thing I've been noticing with writing out our intentions is we get stuck in this mindset that we only get one wish or we only get 3 wishes. So we have to get really clear on what we want. But you could have multiple things. And I find people get stuck on writing out their intentions because they want it to be really good, or they want to make sure that it's really good. But it could be anything. It could be a weekly coffee date with your best friend and being able to buy that really nice dress you just saw, and being able to go away on the weekend to that place that you just heard about. Or maybe it's buying a house or a car or a bigger vacation or having flexibility in your work schedule. So I invite you to write, just start with 1. And then with quantum touch, so our 3 main principles is breath, attention, and intention. So we breathe in life force energy. So it's not our energy. So we're getting conscious with our breath. We're consciously bringing in that life force energy that is going to move through our body. So we get clear on our attention. So we bring our attention to our body and feeling that awareness in our body. And then we get clear on our intention. So we breathe the life force energy up through our body and out, and then sending it to our intention. And just by bringing our intention to mind, it ripples out in our consciousness because we are working at the quantum level. All right. Any questions on breathing and sweeping? Okay, so we'll simply breathe the energy in and send it out. And when we're sending to our intention, we want to bring in that feeling of love, that feeling of gratitude. So you could think of something you love the most, something that's going to bring you that feeling. Because the other part of quantum touch is we're working with resonance and entrainment. So resonance is we're feeling that energy around, and then entrainment is when we can actually entrain to it, or the vibrations meet. So when we do quantum touch, we use these techniques to raise our vibration so that those around us, or if we're doing it with ourselves, we get that abundance. But entrainment is when there's that now abundance of energy that our bodies can use for self-healing. So all healing is self-healing, and what you bring into your energy field is now around you. You are radiating, and it can share out. So when you bring in what you love the most, that is now in your field to be shared. And that is going to raise your vibration. So bringing in love and gratitude. So the vibration of gratitude means it's already happened. So receivership, you've already received it and you're so grateful for it, and it feels really good. So that's going to help raise your vibration. So we're going to do a 10-minute energy share now. If you are not familiar with quantum touch, just tune into your breath and receive. That is totally okay. If you know quantum touch, you can breathe and sweep, bringing that energy, that life force energy through your body. And with your intention, you want to hold yourself in that moment that you had just wrote down. So seeing yourself in that moment, feeling the gratitude, maybe feeling the relief that it's already happened, because on some quantum level, if you were able to imagine it, it already exists. So the more details you can think of your intention. So say I wrote down a weekly coffee date with a good friend. So you would want to maybe hear people talking around you, taste the coffee, smell the coffee, feel the cup, maybe feel the warmth of the cup in your hand, feel that great connection with the friend. The more details you can bring to your intention are like little anchors, and they're going to hook your attention. And if you can hook your attention in that future state, it's like there's more draws bringing your energy there. So you want to be able to fully experience that intention with as much detail as possible. So like I had said, when we bought the country property, it was sitting on the deck drinking coffee with my husband, watching over the kids playing soccer, seeing them climb the trees, having everybody over for a dinner in the kitchen. And all of those details bring the energy there. So you're not just writing down, I mean, you are just writing down your intention, but then you're taking it one step further and you're fully experiencing it. And if you're struggling with fully experiencing it, then there's normally some sort of attachment of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And that is where quantum touch comes in, because we're bringing in unconditional love, the life force energy that is unconditional love. So if you have that intention and the more you think about it, it feels uncomfortable in your body, awesome. We are going to celebrate that, right? We just simply put our hands there. And when we breathe and sweep, we heal that part of us who doesn't feel that we are good enough, or that we could allow that to happen in our own life. Yes, Werner, you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello. I'm Werner, I'm from Switzerland, and I have done the level 1 and level 2, and I find it very difficult to heal myself. I find it so difficult to bring the energy into me. It's easy to give it to other people, but it's very difficult to do it for myself, and I don't know exactly if I do something wrong or if there is a blockage, or I don't know why. Have you experienced this as well, or is it different for you?
This is very common. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. I see this a lot. It's normally a block of sorts, usually something from childhood. I find I've been using I add in self-created health with all of my work with clients and students, and try and trace these emotions back to the root. And it's normally some sort of scarcity event Not even that it's a big event, it's just this belief that we've carried on from childhood. And it doesn't have to be difficult to shift, right? You just became aware of it now, which is awesome. So now you can just say, I allow myself to receive. Or you can use the sentence, I love receiving. And every time you feel that uncomfortable coming up or you find it difficult, then you ask yourself, where in my body am I experiencing this? And then just trust that first thought. So if you ask yourself, where in my body am I experiencing this? And then all of a sudden you get like this pain in your elbow, awesome. And then you just place your hands there and just breathe and sweep. And you will notice it will shift. And this is where writing down, so if you can think of what you love the most and something you're really grateful for. So you have like a loving memory and a grateful memory. And if you can write that down and get really clear on what that feels like, when you write it down, you're consciously becoming aware of it. And now you have a tool so that when you feel you're in a moment when you want to bring in that feeling of abundance and you're feeling stuck, then now you have that tool. You can bring in that memory and bring in that feeling. Yeah, but it's just practice. It's just showing up for yourself every day. And sometimes that's the hardest part because on some level, we don't feel we're worthy of that. Or there's something, right? And just showing up for yourself every single day will show you that love, and that will boost your confidence, and it will shift, which is really fun. And the other thing is you're not alone in this. I think this is all very, very common because I hear this with most of my students. And the more I do the energy work, it's all connected. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Let's do the energy share. So I'll run the energy for 10 minutes. If you know how to breathe and sweep, absolutely join in. Otherwise, just simply receive. And then we can do some questions at the end and talk about what came up. Awesome. All right. So simply finding yourself in a comfortable position. Allowing, 1 second, I just need to shift this. Okay. So finding yourself in a comfortable position, I just start by tuning into your breath. Feeling your body expand on your inhale and soften on your exhale. Tuning into your body. Breathe and sweep. Letting this loving life force energy move through you. Bringing to mind your intention, seeing yourself in that moment. Breathe and sweep. Clear on what this intention looks like. Where are you? Who with you. Letting it play out like a movie in your mind. Breathe and sweep. What would it sound like? Bringing in textures of smell, taste, noticing what it feels like. Feeling relief that it's already done. Feeling excitement, gratitude. Feeling this abundance now. Noticing any thoughts, feelings, emotions, or memories that arise. Observing this version of you, loving this version of you. Breathe and sweep. Letting yourself experience this unconditional love. This unconditional abundance now. Choosing to shift your mindset. Becoming aware of scarcity and choosing to shift your mindset to abundance. Allowing yourself to celebrate every obstacle, every pain, and every challenge as it served to get your attention, allowing you to get clear on your intention. Breathe and sweep. If you can imagine this intention, then on some quantum level, it already exists. We can breathe and sweep, raise our vibration, and bring it closer to us now. Allowing ourselves to receive the gifts and beauty of this intention now. Noticing any resistance or tension that arises, Simply placing your hands over this part of your body. Breathe and sweep. Stating your intention is like stating an affirmation, declaring your preference, and then noticing any resistance, any areas in your body, thoughts, feelings, or emotions that are in opposition. It's simply loving this part of you. Breathe and sweep. Noticing where you might be feeling restless, anxious, uncertain, letting this love go there now. Knowing at any moment throughout your day, you can tap into your breath, bring in this unconditional love, and choose to shift your focus, choosing where you want to place your attention, where you want to place this energy. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you can come back into this space, wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing yourself back into this moment. Beautiful. Drink some water if it's available to you. We've already created so many beautiful shifts. I noticed there was a lot of, yeah, that resistance, that feeling of I'm not good enough or that won't happen for me. And I just have to ask, why not? And I always just keep thinking back to my own story. I never could have imagined that I was here. If it wasn't for not being able to get pregnant, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened, but that was the first time I really got stopped and I couldn't like control my way through, and I really had to experience a surrender and pause. So our greatest challenges really do become our greatest blessings, because now I've been able to have children, and the connection I have with my children is so much greater than I ever could have imagined. I didn't even know this was possible. And then I think, if I didn't know this was possible, what else do I not know is possible? And then I just think I'm just getting started. So I'm really excited that you've all joined me today, because this is just kind of what's been unfolding for me this past summer. And I think it's really exciting. So I would love to hear, if you don't mind sharing, if you want to share what you experienced, what came up, or if you have any questions. Yes, Mina.
Good morning, everybody. Doubt. I suffer. No, I don't suffer without, but it doesn't matter how connected I get. Doubt is stronger very often. How do people deal with it except getting positive feedback from, being pregnant in your case?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Doubt,
I
not self-worth, doubt.
yeah, I think just bring it back to your body, right?
Mm,
No, just ask yourself, where in my body am I
yeah, yeah,
experiencing
yeah.
doubt?
Get the elbow.
Yeah. Okay. And then just breathe and sweep there. And then notice what thoughts, feelings, emotions, or memories come up. Just
Yeah.
simply observe and then love that version of yourself, right? So now we're going to send energy through time. So send energy to yourself in that moment and
Clear.
ask yourself why, like, where is this doubt coming from, right? Like, letting yourself get curious and then just continue to breathe and sweep and send energy to yourself in that moment.
Doubt comes from mind training, from the logical, linear training that we all received for decades, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a career scientist. So it's for me very interesting to observe, the statistical error.
Yeah.
So I guess practice is the answer.
Yeah. I feel like if you doubt it's going to work on some level, you feel it's either not going to work. Like there's that skepticism coming in, but I would wonder if that's like a scarcity mindset coming in. Like, why do we feel it's not going to work? If we're in a universe of infinite possibilities,
Why
then
not?
maybe it will come about in a way we never expected.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
then, yeah, just being open to, because then it would be pretty incredible because, right? If you can be open to how is this going to come about, when it does come about, it'll probably blow your mind. And then you'd have to ask, well, what else is possible?
Yeah, it should, in a way, it should be more lighthearted, in my case at least. More of
Mm-hmm.
a game and more of a curiosity, less
Mm-hmm.
of the investigation into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. All right, Luna.
Hello.
Hi,
Uh,
Luna.
I would like to know exactly what you mean by sweeping. Is it the same as running the energy through what? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because
So
that was what I did.
yeah. The quantum touch phrase is breathing and sweeping, which means we are bringing the energy through our bodies. So on our inhale, we are going to inhale the energy up our body to our crown, and on our exhale, down and out our hands. And that's considered a sweep because now you're sweeping your body with the energy. So if you haven't taken a level 1 workshop, I highly recommend it because you're going to get so much benefit out of it, personal, and you can use it towards career or family, helping friends, which is really exciting. But that's what breathing and sweeping is. It's the same as running the energy. In level 1, we learn how to sweep the energy through our bodies. And then in level 2, we learn how to tap into heart energy. And it's almost more like you just fill your body with this loving heart energy on your inhale, and then you send it out on your exhale.
That's actually what I'm doing. I'm working to become a shaman.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I always have done since childhood. So that's what I know. That's why when you get technical, then I said, oh, what does it mean to that?
Yeah.
But by the way, the reasons why I'm here is that I love to heal together with other people. Because there is a compounded effect when you work together. Even if you work only with yourself, it is compounded, and I really love it. And I will eventually come around to quantum touch. I have several times, wanted to go there, but there was always something else that I wanted more before it came in. So, but it will come sooner or
Beautiful.
later.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you, Luna. So we have some questions. Barbara, I found my mind running through everything I wanted. No doubts, just beautiful acceptance and receiving the energy. Awesome, Barbara. Yes, that is beautiful. You know, I have young kids, so I feel like I get to experience everything again from their eyes, but they feel they get everything. They look at something and like, I want that, I want that, I want that. And then my mind goes to like, you can't just have that. And then I'm like, why am I now telling you can't have that if that's what you want? Which is really interesting. And that was another way I kind of became aware of like, wow, I say no a lot. And then why am I saying no? Not just that I'm saying no, but then it reminds me to get clear on, well, what do I want? Yeah, it's really interesting. Okay. Do you consciously think of the body parts as you do the sweep, or can you just focus on your hands? Consciously thinking of your body parts is going to bring in more energy. So where attention goes, energy flows. And I kind of talked about this with intention. The more you can hold your attention somewhere, you're kind of holding like a mental hook so that you can bring in more energy. So think of all the ways we can get distracted. If we can be fully present in our bodies, we're going to bring in more energy. So when we teach the level 1, we do the breathing and sweeping, and we start with like physically touching our feet. Like, what does it feel like to physically touch our foot, ankle, leg, knee, right? And especially when we get into our torsos, most times we've numbed ourselves to a lot of feeling in here. And if you say, think of your pelvis, can you bring mental awareness to your pelvis? Most people in the beginning cannot. So we physically touch our bodies to bring in that visceral sensation. And then when we're breathing and sweeping, we're kind of hovering and seeing if we can bring in that feeling to our bodies. Because the more you can bring in that feeling to our bodies, the more energy is available. And this is how we learn to be fully present in our bodies. And as we breathe and sweep, all of the self-healing starts, because the moment you start to feel in your pelvis, you start to feel in your pelvis. And that's a great spot for us storing emotions that we don't want to feel. And that's the beauty of quantum touch, is it's all in loving, positive energy, that unconditional love. So it brings in the healing to those spaces. So we do experience a lot of self-healing in the level 1. But yes, the more you can feel in each part of your body, the stronger it's going to be. Yeah. So in the beginning of the level 1 workshop, we learn how to we start with just a hands-on sweep. Like, we're physically touching our body to feel that. And then we move to a hands-off. So can I hover my hands over my toes and feel my toes? And can I bring in more sensation? And then when we bring in love and gratitude, it's, can I feel the love in my toes? And you're going to experience that. And it gets really exciting. Awesome. Any other questions, comments? I kind of like what Luna said. We need to keep having these conversations and talking, because just like how I've been having all of these like epiphanies, if you will, this summer. And like I said, this part of the workshop always kind of scared me when I would teach it, probably because I was missing some pieces of personal experience or understanding it. But the last couple workshops, it's been getting really powerful, and it's becoming a bigger part of the workshop, which is exciting. So it just keeps expanding. And I mean, that's one of the reasons I became an instructor. I get to go to a workshop every month. Maybe it will become a weekly thing. Maybe that was a little slip. But I love it, meeting the people, and everything just keeps expanding and compounding. And I see more ways I can use this in my own life. I can use it with clients. So Thank you so much for showing up today and sharing your energy, and to all the people who are going to watch this on the replay. So I will send you all the replay so you can continue to replay it and experience it as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye.